Alright, last one of the day. This is a 90 to 91, I believe. Lasko 4723. Is the interesting thing about model numbers by Lasko in the 90s and 80s mostly. The Lasko equivalent was always a 47, while the Galaxy was the 37. That's the case with a lot of their fans at the time. At some point in the mid-90s, it got changed to Lasko being 37, and then the Galaxy brand went away for a little while. Then in the 2000s, it came back, and the Galaxy was the 4733, and the Lasko was the 3733. Very complicated, very convoluted, but it is what it is. Anyway, to this fan itself, this is a Lasko 4733 or 4723 from 90 to 91. This was obviously the gray bladed equivalent. There was also the white bladed one. From what I'm told, the gray bladed ones were somewhat of a Walmart exclusive, but I don't know for sure. Yeah. These are childhood fans as well. These are actually some of the first square corner box fans I remember seeing. And I always thought they were kind of neat. Especially these gray bladed ones. You don't see too many of them. But anyway, what I remember the most about these was, well, the gray blades with the butter knife blade. It's gray. This one's starting to turn kind of yellow, but I mean, it's still in pretty good shape. It seems like the gray bladed ones, after so long, the color will turn like a yellowish color. It's really weird. Anyway, there's a top of it. It says Lasko, high, medium, low. Has the older knob. Here's the strap handle that always breaks. And then we gotta do the obligatory, it has a handle. Has a freaking handle. But yeah. I think I got this from Reese at Fanimation one year. I've had several of these, but this is the only one I've really hung on to. Well, actually, no, I've held on to two of them. I got this one and another one that's back there that I use around the garage. But this one's the one I kind of keep as the collection fan. Mainly because it's a Lasko one, and I don't see too many Lasko versions of this. This has the earlier metal Marco motor. Around 88, 89, 89 to 90 is when they were transitioning from the plastic ones to these. And I mean, it's essentially the same motor, just different motor casings, shells, bearing housings, whatever the heck you want to call them. Yeah, it's basically a plastic motor with metal shells. That's all it is, pretty much. And they ran this motor all the way up till as late as 2001, I've noticed. Here's the date, code, and stuff. If it'll freaking focus. Thank you. Really. It's 90 to 91. It's 2.2 amps, of course. All that jazz. Bottom of this fan's in pretty good shape. I do use this one occasionally too. Whoa. It's in pretty good shape. I mean, most of these are pretty beat up and rusty and all that. This one survived pretty well. I mean, it's got a little bit of rust, but nothing too wild in there. But anyway, also on the kilowatt meter again, and we'll start it on high. For some odd reason, these earlier square corner Lasko Galaxy box fans seem to have a slightly more powerful motor. Slightly. because these seem to move more air than the mid-90s ones. I'm not really complaining, I'm just stating what I'm getting out of this. And what I've gotten out of a lot of these. Drawing 1.9 amps and 172 watts. Runs pretty good. I had to do a lot of work to get this to run right because the original bearing shells were, I don't know, I think they were getting gummed up, so I swapped them out for some different ones, and now it runs pretty good now. Go to medium. Yeah, this is a pretty good fan. This is, you know, a fairly quiet fan. Moves good air. I mean, I like the way these sound. This is like one of those fans I always used to sleep with because I just like the way they sound. Drawing 1.30 amps, 117 watts. I think we've kind of got a general consensus of what these Laskos from the 90s run at. Low speed's pretty nice on this. Now the white bladed one like this I have seems to move, seems like it runs faster than this one. I don't know if this one's just a little more worn out or what, but I don't know. But it runs pretty good. Can't complain. It's running at 1.01 amps and 89.0 watts. It's slowly going down to 88. Seems like most of these run about the same. And we'll go back to high. And OFF spells off. Pretty nice fans. Definitely one of my favorite Lasko fans, honestly. It goes up there on the list. These and the mid-90s 3733 with the badge on the corners. I freaking love those too. These and those are like my top two favorite 90s Laskos. But anyway, hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.